Hey friends, this video was filmed last year before the pandemic hit, out traveling with my good friend, Joe Diaz. I really hope you enjoy the video. Okay, we are here at Burney Falls up in California, and I'm with my buddy Joe, who's a talented filmmaker. I've worked with him in the past on some projects, and now we're on a road trip to capture awesome things. He has a much cooler camera than I do. Of course, he's more awesome than his camera is, and that's why he's here. Tell the people what we're doing, Joe.
Wow, yeah, so we're on a 12-day road trip right now. We started in Death Valley, and we're just making our way up to the Oregon coast, and right now we're in Burney Falls. Been kind of a tough trip for us so far. Not great conditions, but we're making the most of it and just enjoying the time. I mean, being out here with the fall colors is just better than being anywhere else in the world. So good conditions or bad conditions, we're happy to be here.
Oh yeah. So I think our plan is we're gonna try and get some really cinematic footage here and then maybe some abstract photography. We wanted to get here before any harsh light hits the waterfall. So, I'm back at it again with the 70-200 because I can't help myself. It's my favorite lens. And I'm trying to find little pockets of the waterfall to focus on. So, what I love so much about this waterfall is all the rocks that jet out, and then the water trickles down onto each individual rock, creating little mini waterfalls. I've just been playing around a little bit with the composition. And as you can see here, this is at about 70 millimeters, but if I start going a little closer, we can kind of focus in more on the waterfalls and create some more dynamic shapes out of this. So I'm just gonna zoom in here, and I noticed there was this big boulder out there that wasn't catching the water, so all the water was moving around this boulder, but then there was these beautiful streams of waterfall pouring down. So I think this would be an interesting composition at maybe about 200 millimeters. And of course, you're seeing a 16:9 crop, so I have a little bit of room on either side. I'm just gonna try and do a test shot of this right now. So here's the image. I actually really enjoy how this one came out. I love those contrasts of shapes with these rocks and the water kind of filtering around them in the middle, these kind of more circular rocks. And then the different water patterns, I think, adds a nice contrast. For this shot, I went with sort of a darker process, a little bit more blue toned. This image was taken in shadow anyway, so it already has a little bit of that blue tonality, a little bit of that darker mood. I did bring out some of the contrast, and I did a little bit of dodging and burning into the water as well. So I had to turn autofocus off because it's so misty in the waterfall that autofocus is having trouble knowing where to focus. So I did autofocus. It said that it was focused on the waterfall. Then of course I zoomed into 100%, realized it wasn't in focus. So just another important tip, always make sure to check 100% into the files to make sure the file is actually in focus, because there's a lot of situations where it's going to be pretty deceiving. It actually looks really cool. So I don't know if this shot is going to work or not, but what I love about this scene right here, I'll switch it into video mode so you can see kind of what I'm looking at. Underneath, or not underneath, but I guess behind the streaming waterfalls, you see little trickles of another waterfall pouring out. So you've got multiple different kinds of waterfalls, and then all these really stark horizontal lines to the top of the image and then vertical lines to the bottom of the image. So it's kind of a cool dynamic. I'm gonna try this shot out, see if it works. Hopefully it does.
All right, so here's that image. I think I'm happy with the way this one came out. I love that kind of hidden waterfall that goes behind the vertical streams that are coming out of the mossy foliage. And I do like the differences of the horizontal shapes towards the top of the photograph, that the horizontal shape of the moss, the horizontal shape of the red rock, and then you've got the kind of cooler tonality of the water streaming down. But I do really like that hidden waterfall in the background of the photograph. I think it adds a little bit of mystery. I kind of wonder when I look at this photograph, well, what is back there? You know, does the waterfall keep going back into this hidden cave? So it adds a little bit of fantasy into the story for me.
This is such an incredible waterfall. I mean, Burney Falls is really amazing. I think a lot of Northern California waterfalls they're a bit underrated. I mean, Burney is probably one of my favorite waterfalls to photograph. There's so many different things to focus on, and the waterfall, the sense of scale is massive, the power. Like, I hope you can hear me right now because the waterfall is extremely loud.
I decided to keep playing around with some different compositions, and here are some of my favorite images from the shoot. I want to thank you so much for watching this little mini vlog. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'll be releasing a bunch of new time-lapse videos, vlogs, and tutorials in the future. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.